Everyone talks about finger independence when it comes to technique, and there are entire books and exercises dedicated to it. But what if I told you that hidden inside many of these books is a technique so powerful that it could take your playing to the next level? Yet most musicians either skip it or don't even know it exists. It's called the one finger sustain drill, or sometimes called the one finger holding drill. Now, I'll be honest with you, this is something that I'm working on myself right now. And the deeper I dive into these drills, the more I realize how much control and precision they can unlock. But here's where it gets really interesting. This drill doesn't just stop at one finger. There are two finger holding drills and even three finger holding drills, each unlocking a whole new level of control, strength, and endurance. And it doesn't stop there. We can take this even further by changing the articulation, legato, staccato, alternating between the two, with each variation bringing out a new layer of technique that most musicians never develop. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how these drills work, the mistakes to avoid, and how we can experiment with articulation to push our technique even further. By the way, I'm Corey Taylor, and on this channel, we help musicians improve by helping them unlock their full potential. So let's get started. So why do most people avoid this drill? Simple. It's uncomfortable, awkward, and at first seems impossible. And if done wrong, it can even cause tension or pain. And that's why most people skip it. But after working on this myself, I'm realizing that if you stick with it and do it correctly, it can completely transform your technique. And the crazy part is you can keep leveling up. The more fingers you hold and the more articulation changes you add, the more it challenges you in new ways. So let's start with the basics. We're going to work within the interval of a fifth here. And the gist of it is one finger is going to hold down while the others play. Now the goal is to keep this held finger down while the others are free to move. Now you want to keep your hand relaxed just enough to hold this note down and stay aware of tension. Tension is not your friend. So you want to eliminate any tension. So the held note needs to be relaxed while the other fingers are relaxed as well. So two don'ts. Don't press too hard into the key and don't have tension in the wrist, the hand, or the forearm. And tension in these places can lead to carpal tunnel syndrome. So if you've ever heard of musicians having carpal tunnel, a lot of times it's because they've had prolonged exposure to tension. And so we can do this with every note. So let's hold our index finger or our second finger, and let's do it with our middle finger. Our ring finger. And our pinky. And we want to do this with both hands, so we're not going to leave our left hand out. Once you start to feel comfortable with the one finger holding drill, let's level it up. So two finger holding drills, similar to one finger, but now we're holding down two fingers while playing the remaining fingers. So let's take like a 5-finger drill, like, right? But let's hold the first two notes down, the C and D, and let's play the rest of the drill. And there are a lot of patterns and permutations we can use to kind of develop this, but let's examine maybe two. So we held the first two, let's hold the second and third down, and let's do our 5-finger drill. Let's hold 3 and 4 down. Now let's do our 5-finger drill. Let's hold the 4 and 5 down. Let's do our 5-finger drill. Right? And again, you can do this both hands individually and then both hands at the same time. Here's another permutation that we can use. So we did 1 and 2, let's do 1 and 3. And now do our 5-finger drill. Ooh, that one got me. All right, let's hold 1 and 4 down and do it. Let's hold 1 and 5 down. And we can literally do this with every permutation. And what this does is it forces more stability and independence. And then we can level up again. We can go to 3 fingers. So if I hold 3 fingers down and we start here and just, so we can play our remaining 2 fingers and then do it with both hands, right? So, and then both hands together. One important consideration is not to go too fast. We are developing the technique, and so it's important that you take your time, go slowly, and develop the technique. We can always add speed later. Matter of fact, speed is a result of slow practice, right? So go slowly. Now here's where things really get interesting. Once you have the basic drills down, we can change the articulation to challenge ourselves in completely new ways. So let's go back to our 1-finger drill. So basically what we're doing is we're going to do the 5-finger drill, but we're going to hold the first note. And we can play everything legato. What does legato mean? Smooth and connected. So here we go. Right? Or we can do variation 2, which is staccato, which means short and detached. So we're going to still hold the first note and then play the rest short and detached. Or for even more difficult challenge, we can alternate our articulations. So we can hold and then go short, long, short, long, short, long, short. Now, the more I work on this, the more I realize this is a total game changer. Your fingers feel more stable, your fast passages get cleaner, and movements that used to feel impossible feel effortless. So if you start slowly, keep it consistent, and experiment with articulation, you're going to see a huge jump in your technique. So pro tip, try this for just 5 minutes a day, and in a week, you'll feel the difference. I put together a free PDF that walks you through not just the 1-finger holding drill, but also the 2-finger and 3-finger holding drill, plus all the articulation variations we've covered. And don't worry, if you can't read music, I also made a step-by-step video so that you can follow along instantly and start practicing today. So grab it now, just click the link in the description box. Which drill or articulation was the hardest for you? Drop a comment in the comment section below and let me know. And I'll be checking the comments and replying to as many as I can. So if you like this video and want to keep improving your technique and your finger and hand independence, I did a 2-part hand independence series that you should definitely check out. So click right over here. Here's the first video in that 2-part video series. All right, so until the next one, be blessed and happy practicing.